Wisdom by Design.
What's up, guys? This is our very first episode of Wisdom by Design. We decided to start this venture, and we're here to do it. So, what's up? We are a podcast for the creative looking to enrich their life with knowledge. We won't be giving you 3 ways to get rich quick. No, thank you. We're not about that life. We are for the college avoider, the corporate dropout, the person burning the midnight oil in their next big project. You're probably listening to us right now. We are here to talk with you, offer up the processes that work for us in our business, and to be real. This might be your new fave podcast. Hi, I'm Jessa.
And hello, I'm Cameron.
And this is wisdom. This is it. This is Wisdom by Design.
Yeah. If you guys can't tell, this is our first one. Very first. So we're going to start today off by kind of telling you what we want this to be and kind of introducing ourselves. I have never done anything like this before. Just trying to get out there. I feel like there's a lot of people like me and Jess, so we're just trying to connect the dots for other people who are also struggling with the same things we are. Like I said, I'm Cameron Davis. I come from a engineering background. I went to college for mechanical and aerospace engineering and have since then dropped out of being corporate anything. So yes, now I'm here.
The original corporate dropout.
The original corporate dropout is
the original.
So we're now here trying to kind of put our worlds together without the things that we were told. We were told to live our lives a certain way, and now we're trying to kind of reject that and live our lives the way we want to. And we're just trying to put together the things we've come across to make things easier for ourselves, for other people out there who might feel like us. I've been doing design work probably since 2014. Started my own kind of design agency in 2018 called Power Design. And I've been just working with mostly other creatives, other engineers who have now started businesses. And those are mostly my main clients right now. But I am trying to pivot. So you will find me and Jess are in basically the same place of starting a business and trying to figure out who's your customer, who wants to spend money with you, how do you appeal to those people. But these are all things we're going to talk through because we are going through the same issues right now.
Yes. Yeah, we actually started bonding over that exact same thing. My name is Jessa Rodriguez. I actually started out as a photographer. I've been a photographer for 12 years. And I have been everywhere, all over the place with my business, in my personal life, everything. It has been, I don't want to say a total nightmare because obviously we had to get here somehow, but it was definitely not a walk in the park. I had to take some very funky roads, and I also grew up in the sense that, you got to go to college. You have to, make something of yourself. You can't use art to create a living. And so I think a lot of us, especially creatives, are struggling on that path that wasn't taken before. We thankfully have a lot of people that are doing what we're doing. They're actually helping. They want to be there for the creatives in their lives, and they want to share all this knowledge that we're going to be sharing with you as well. So we, just a little fun tidbit. I don't know. got a little off track there, but basically, I'm a photographer. I'm a graphic designer. I'm not as fantastic as Cam. I actually got in contact with Cam because he is out of this world, you guys. And I started helping small business women brand their businesses. And I was like, you know what? I need a graphic designer that is going to make this the best logo they've ever invested in their lives. And here comes Cam, like just right there with all his design knowledge, just tearing it up. So he is part of the graphic design team on my side of the business. This is kind of how we met. And yeah, like he said, we're just trying to figure out what the hell we're doing.
Yes. We're just as lost as you are.
We're just as lost as you are. And we're here to play in the mud with you. So
yes, for sure. And we thought a podcast was probably the best way to just kind of sit down and talk even between ourselves, our first, like 2-3 weeks ago, we just sat down and had a Zoom call. And we kind of probably talked through a lot of things that the everyday creative sits down and talks about. And we kind of connected on that. We're like, well, what if we recorded this, people would probably pay attention to it because they're struggling with the same things. Absolutely. So we were like, maybe the podcast route is a good venture. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to have episodes that are themed, and we'll have probably our struggle of the week. We're like, this
struggle of the week. I love it.
That we are both having a bunch of issues with. So we work with us while we're getting the podcast to look the way that we want it to look. We don't even have graphics or a logo yet. This is just, again, right off the cuff.
Yeah, bare bones. We're here, but we're excited.
But we want to show other creatives that you don't have to have everything planned out. Just go for it. Like, that's the whole thing. If a corporate life is not what you want to live, just quit. Go do what you want to do. But
we do recommend that you might have a savings in place.
Yeah, yes, that.
Put a little savings plan in there. Yeah. Make a little bit of a plan. But yes, absolutely quit.
Yes, get out of there.
Get out of there.
That you want to do.
Yeah, because I was, how Cam was talking about his history being in corporate. I did college. I did. I was looking for all those heavy hitter jobs that, make the money and all that stuff. And I ended up just finding myself miserable and thinking about my photography business and not being able to focus at work because it was stuff that I didn't care about. It didn't matter to me. And I know that sounds bad, but I was only there because I needed the money. So sure. I am finally in a spot in my business where, the more I started educating myself, the more my business started like blossoming from it. And now I'm able to pay my bills with my business. So we want to make sure that you guys are getting there with us because we know the struggle.
For sure.
We know that struggle.
Sure. And a little bit more about my corporate background is like I said, I went to engineering school, which is hard and rigorous for 6 years. I did a co-op where I went and worked for an engineering company for 6 months while I was going to school. And I started that job. I started my first job in 2015. And the first thing they do when I get there is they're like, well, the job you signed up for, this isn't it. You guys are here to do this job and that's final. You guys don't get a say in that. And that's just kind of how it went the whole time is, well, you're here to do what we tell you to do. You don't really get a say in your career. We're here to mold your career into what we need you to do. And it's like, how can you make a life off of being told what's tomorrow? They're like, well, we closed down I'm in Phoenix. We closed down the Phoenix site. Now you got to go to Timbuktu because we told you to. Like that's really how it goes. And most of the time, all it's for is what, a paycheck? Like if I need to make $1,000 a week, how about I try to come up with some ways? How do we do that? Like, let's be abundant in our thinking and like actually be strategic. How do I pull this off? Instead of being, well, a job is what I have to do. And I saw something the other day. Someone was like, a statement ends a thought. So to say, I have to work a job, then there's no thinking in it. A question opens your thinking. So, well, how do I get there? How do I get past this? And I was like, that is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people don't think that way. And because I think it was the guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he was just like, well, to say you're poor, well, my poor dad used to say, well, I'm poor and we're poor. And it ended the question. But my rich dad would say, how do we get there? How do we get where we want to be? How do we make more money? And it opened it up. And I'm like, God.
You got me on chills. I'm like, I'm like, well, wait, what?
But that's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, if it's not working for you, it doesn't have to be a statement. It can be, how do I do it differently?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we have spent our whole lives being told the knowledge that we have to have. And then so many of us, especially me, I stopped wanting to learn because it was just being forced and forced and forced. And it was like, obviously certain things are very important. History, math, all those things that actually help you with life. But when I got into college, I started realizing that, nothing that I was doing was helping me get to where I needed to be in my business. And the thing that I wanted it to be a career. I wanted it to be a hands-on career. And so once I started asking myself, well, how can I make this better? Or what can I do? Once I started opening those questions, that's when it was like a whole new road. right in front of me, just unveiling
It
itself
just
right
opens.
in front of me.
And it opens every day. Every day you're open to that idea. It opens up more. And you're like, well, there's another road here. Like, why don't I try that road? And it just gets more open and nice. Open. Yeah. That's some nice pavement over there.
That must have been just laid. That's nice.
That's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
But that's really what it's about. Like, we have to be, and I know for our parents, it might have been different. Absolutely. And someone said the other day, like, your parents can really, they had this idea, this plan for us, but they can only get us to where they got. And that's fine. And we have to understand that and know that in our lives, things are going to change. Our parents didn't have the internet when they were growing up.
No,
they had no idea.
And no,
so now they see it.
Yeah, now they see it and they're like,
and they have no concept of it. They don't understand it, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. You just have to know that. Well, maybe I got to go do some research on how this internet thing works. Absolutely,
yeah, and it's cool to think about how our generation has grown up with this, and like you and I are still learning this. You know, this is new turf for us. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, if you think about the generations that raised us, they didn't have online businesses. They didn't have the option to be creative. It was, I have to make money for my family. I have to support my family. This is what we're going to go into. Let's not even talk about how poor mental health was back then.
For sure.
Before we were in a mental health crisis. Hello, 2020 burning to the ground. And so, you know, they were, you know, they had to do what they had to do. Absolutely. And I owe so much respect to that. Because especially on my harder days, I'm like, dang, my mom didn't have this option. So I need to get out of bed, get out of 100%. Bed. And, you know, so, you know, you learn to love and appreciate it. But absolutely, it is completely flipped on end. And now there is a road for creatives. And that's why we're here. That's why we want to talk about it, because a lot of you were most likely raised by the same type of people, the ones who think you're just playing on Facebook. The ones who think that you're glued to your computer when in reality you just booked $1,000 client. Like, you know, I used to get all the time from my stepdad, well, if you'd stop playing on Facebook so dang much. And I'm like, I'm making money.
This is a business.
I am making money. This is a business. But sometimes they can't, you know, it's over
it's
here.
Just past them. If you go to grandparents, it's even more. They don't know what a cell phone is. Like, what's an email? I don't know. Like, that's just how it's gonna be. We'll be that way eventually.
Oh yeah, definitely. My daughter will bring me a tablet, and I'm like, I don't know how to use that. What do you want? Like,
for sure, I take that somewhere else. Whatever you guys do. But yeah, we just want to be there for other people like us, because it is hard to be in a bubble where you feel like it's just you hanging out and there's not really anybody else out there to connect with. So we just want this to be an open avenue for people to ask questions, to just be on the struggle bus with somebody else.
We are driving in the front. There are seats in the back.
There's a lot of room.
Wear your seatbelts. Yes, our bus has seatbelts. This is 2020. We would like to have seatbelts on our buses.
For sure.
It's not safe out there, y'all.
It's not. But it's safe in these rooms. It's safe wherever you listen to this podcast.
So, quarantined up in your little hidey hole. So, Cam, like Cam said, he's in Phoenix, Arizona. And I am in St. Louis, Missouri. So, we are creating this here podcast all the way across the United States. That's pretty cool. I just realized that. I was like, whoa.
I love it. It's another 2020 thing. It's just like, this is the epitome of 2020, is just people being innovative in ways that they weren't before. Well, I couldn't start a podcast. We're not in the same place. But yeah, you can. Whatever you want.
Yeah. Anything you want in your office. Do whatever you want in your office.
That's it. So that might be, is that it for the first one?
I mean, I think so. I think we told them exactly who we are, what we do. We want to hear from you guys. This is obviously our first go. So, tell us what you think. If you want to add anything, we are on Instagram now. Just ignore our little, hopefully by the time you hear this, actually, this is releasing December 1st. So they'll have all of this together. But right now our Instagram is also bare bones. But we have our Instagram. It is Wisdom by Design Podcast. It's just exactly as it sounds, exactly as it's spelled. And then if you guys want to send us any information, we'd love to hear from you. It's Wisdom by Design Podcast at gmail.com. Unfortunately, it is very long. Somebody else had our Wisdom by Design email, so I do apologize, but
we'll post it everywhere. We'll
post it everywhere. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So
I want to thank you all for watching this first episode. Again, I'm Cameron Davis.
And I'm Jessa Rodriguez.
And we will see you guys next time.
Thanks so much.
Wisdom by Design.